Hi friends and supporters of Prairie Soap House and Apothecary, this is Erin Oberlander coming to you today. If we're meeting for the first time, I am a certified holistic aromatherapist, herbalist, and holistic health expert. My goal is to help you to live a holistic lifestyle with ease. So I'm taking my years of experience with my own struggles with health along with all of the education that I have completed on that and my life experience to wrap up for you basically a whole lifestyle that allows you to connect back with the things that truly sustain us, primarily that being nature. And one of the things that I teach about is seasonal living, how to reconnect with what each season's gift is for us. And what I find to be so astonishing over and over and over is that nature is always providing for us in each season what our bodies need. Now we are in the season of summer as the recording of this video is taking place, and summer is an unusual season. In every other season, we have very specific resources to bear on what our bodies need, as well as a cue from what the sun is doing and the conditions outside as to what our body should also be reflecting in our lifestyle for those things. And in each season, we usually have just what we need for that season, but summer is unusual because summer has a whole bunch of extra abundance. And the reason is that summer is when we gather and we harvest and we prepare all of the resources that we're going to need to survive the rest of the year. So what's interesting as a person that works really closely with plants, and I also am a craft distiller, with this video today I'm going to be showing you how to distill Colorado blue spruce. So I have a couple of small distillers that I use to distill essential oils and hydrosols for use in my practice, with my clients, with my customers for sale online and in person. And I love to just let nature speak to me as to what I need to be working with at any given time. The thing about working seasonally and the thing about working closely with nature is that there's also a large measure of unpredictability, isn't there? So I may have planned to do certain things with my work or my farm here in Arcadia. You can probably hear the chickens behind me, or any other number of things that I had in my schedule. But what I've learned as a person that works closely with plants and very much in touch with nature is that sometimes nature interrupts that and says, nope, you need to be over here doing this. And when a plant speaks to me, I've learned that I really need to listen. So we are going to be working with Colorado blue spruce. So I'm going to show you the tree that we're going to be working with. So you can see there from the size of that tree that it's very large. This is a tree that my dad estimates is about 70 to 75 years old, so older than he is. And on our original homestead, our family that when they came here to North Dakota, the place that they started out farming here, which is just down the road from me, where my parents and my brother and his wife live now, one of the first things that they did on this prairie where you're so exposed to the wind and to the elements is to plant trees. And so these beautiful Colorado blue spruce, they're like they've got to be 4 stories or more tall. We had a tornado the other night and it took down the oldest, biggest, tallest of these, and that is the plant that we're going to be working with today. So I saw this as an opportunity to practice what I consider to be alchemy, which is taking something that appears to be unfortunate on the surface and actually transmuting it into something that is going to be of benefit to all. In this case, we are taking this down tree that is now dying and dead, and we are resurrecting it. We are transmuting it into essential oil and hydrosol that will then be used to support people's moods, to support people's respiration, to support people's immunity, to support their quality of life. So I think that is such a beautiful way to look at something that is otherwise, a waste. And it's not just going to be the essential oil and the hydrosol that we create today that is coming out of this. Our family is also going to be making some furniture and other items out of these huge tree trunks. I'll show you those. So as I'm showing you the different steps of the distillation process, this is also going to give you an opportunity to appreciate the resource of essential oils as well as all of our aromatic materials, because it takes an incredibly large amount of plant material to make even one drop of essential oil. The hydrosols are also very precious because of the incredible amount of labor and work that goes into preparing the plant material. So what I did yesterday, and I'm learning from a little bit of online resource that I found on the subject, that a lot of people with the spruces and the firs, they let them dry out before they distill them. This is kind of happening by default in my case because the tree came down on Friday night and today is Tuesday. So we will be distilling, you know, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday. So about 4 days afterward the tree's been down. This helps to concentrate the essential oils into the needles. We're going to be distilling primarily the needles of the tree. There's going to be a little bit of bark material in there, but it does not amount to any significant yield with the essential oil or the hydrosol. It's just not feasible for me to pick off every individual needle and not have any of the bark or the branch material in there. Then what I did yesterday is, as I was taking the plant material, I was taking the newest growth of it, so where the most amount of chi or prana is in the tree, where we're seeing the most new life. This is where I wanted to get the most medicinal material, because it's just what my instinct was telling me was where we were going to find the best medicine in this tree. And then what I did is I tore those off, and now today I'm going to be sending them through the wood chipper to kind of chop them up a little bit more so there's more surface area in contact with the water and the steam when we begin the distillation. So I'll show you what the plant material looked like when I took it off the tree. So you can see in that last clip, even just a cross section of those spruce tips, how much green and how much xylem and how much, you know, liquid was already coming out of those just from when I was tearing off the plant material. So I think we're going to have a really cool hydrosol that comes from this. Last note that I want to make, and this doesn't need to be like a weird woo-woo thing, but it's something that distillers of essential oils and aromatics have known for thousands of years, is that on the full moon you tend to get higher yields of essential oil and higher quality hydrosols. Today, this afternoon, oddly, happens to be the full moon. So I think it's interesting how nature already timed this resource to be available to me, that I was able to harvest from a tree that otherwise would have gone to waste, but then I'm also able to distill the plant material, which is another form of transmutation, another form of alchemy, literally taking the plant material and turning it into something else that is very treasured and valuable for our health, that those resources and the timing of this is just working out perfectly. And so I've learned, as I've learned more and more about distillation, I'm by no means an expert on this, still very much a novice. I'll be learning about it the rest of my life. Just like essential oils, just like herbs, there's never going to be an end to what I can learn and what I can pass along to you all. But I do find it interesting when a resource is available at a particular time, and then I have the ability to carpe diem that moment and be able to bring an amazing medicinal, therapeutic, I should say, material at the end of that to be able to share with people. So really excited to show this with you, and the rest of the video I'll just be showing clips of the process along the way and showing you how the distillation goes. If this was an interesting video to you, if you are interested in learning more about this type of thing, this is what I do. So I do individual consultations with people for a wide variety of health issues and concerns, or even just optimization of your health, along with nutritional pieces that go with that. I have products available online, obviously, but the biggest thing that I'm excited about right now is the Intuitive and Seasonal Living Academy, where you can learn a lot more about how you can get in touch with the cycles of nature and how you can use that information and that knowledge to bring a better quality of life and a better health quotient to you and to your family. So go over to intuitiveseason.com when you're done watching this video and get yourself enrolled in the Intuitive and Seasonal Living Academy, where you can learn how to do just that. So here we go into the distillation. So here is our prepared plant material, and you can see what it looks like. This is going into the wood chipper and then coming out on the other side. Not completely pulverized, but definitely more surface area is going to be available to the distillation. And that will then be going into the body of our still. This is my big still. Her name is Elda. Most distillers name their stills, I heard. I felt compelled to give her a name because she's beautiful. And she's a 15-gallon still, and she is going to get filled up about 2/3 of the way, probably with plant material and then distilled water. Alright, so that's our first round of wood chipping. This little wood chipper works really great for this actually. I'm sure it's not what the company intended it to be used for, but it works awesome. But I can already see that even though it's chopped really evenly and beautifully, it reduced the volume a lot, so I'm going to need to go back for more plant material. But first I'm going to be loading that into the still just to see where we are. Here is our second round of plant material, ready to go into the chipper. Now we should have enough plant material, so we'll put that into the still and get our distillation going. Alright, so here's the sort of scary part, is lighting the propane burner. These are the same kind of burners that you can buy for like doing crawfish boils and things like that. Nice, big, powerful, also scary. Sometimes it likes to stop. Alright, we had to find a location out of the wind. So here we are lit. The still will be going on, and then immediately distilled water will go into I usually go about 2/3 full. And then as that heats up, I'll be adding the pieces of the still on and getting the water flow going for the cooling tower. Everything is together now, and we are just waiting for the still to come to temperature. Right before that happens, I will be turning on our cold water supply. So as the steam rises from the distiller body, it comes up this neck. You can see our temperature right here, we're just over 100. Through here, and this has a bunch of coils that cold water runs through that helps the steam that's come up to recondense. Will come into here, and in here, in theory, we should see our separation of hydrosol, and if there's any essential oil, that will be in there as well. So I don't expect, based on past installations, to have a ton of essential oil, so I just have a very small vessel to catch that, and then into this vessel will go the remainder, which is the hydrosol. Now we are getting very close to boiling. You can see the condensation even on the outside of the tube. And you can see we're starting to get some product. Looks like some essential oil on top. Also recycle the water from the distillation. Behind me is, underneath all of that glorious green stuff, an underground trench that the water goes into to water our gardens. And then I'm also watering a lot of the raised beds and other plants with it as I have time in between washing and distillation. I have been running for about 3 hours now, and we have 3 gallons of beautiful hydrosol. You can tell it's a high quality hydrosol when you see that it's opaque like that and you can't see all the way through it. This looks green because the bottle is green, but this is the true color. So we've got these 3 so far, and another one on the way over here. We also are starting to have a pretty significant amount of dark colored resinous sort of essential oil, as well as a lighter color, so I'm not completely sure what's going on there, but it's good to see because it shows that it is actually producing essential oils, and we'll see how much longer we can go. We have threat of some weather coming in tonight, so we'll need to be wrapped up soon. And there's the geese. They are my ever-present helpers. And here we are at the very end. I could have actually continued, but if you look very closely, there is a slight variation in color and opacity from the first one through the last one. And we have very threatening storm clouds coming, so it's time to shut down and let things cool off so they can be put inside. The final thing that I'll teach you today about the distillation process and the alchemy that's involved in that is that it is elemental, meaning that we're using all of the elements at once. So we have the space and the air inside of the distillation vessel, along with the elements of obviously water and fire, heating the water and the space to create the ether, which then recondenses into our final products, the hydrosol and the essential oil. And here's what we have for essential oil from the distillation. It's just a slight skimming on the surface of here, along with a little bit more resinous material that is suspended in there. It's kind of hard to see on the recording. So I have another device that I can use to try to separate this out. But as you can see, the yield is quite low, and very often is for distillation on a smaller scale. It really does take almost a commercial distillation setup with large stills and large amounts of plant material in order to get a significant yield for commercial selling. But for my purposes, this is very, very therapeutic, as are any of these beautiful hydrosols that we have. So I'm going to call it a success. They smell amazing. My yard smells like a Christmas tree, and I think in the winter we're going to really look forward to using these. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on home distillation and that you've learned something. And again, if you want to learn more about this type of thing, how to live more connected to nature, go over to intuitiveseason.com and get yourself enrolled in the Intuitive and Season Living Academy, and I'll see you next time. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'd be so appreciative. That makes a huge difference, and I look forward to your comments.